Sometimes a pretty simple job announcement can tell a way bigger story. It's not just about, a new person in a new office. It can actually be a huge signal about where an entire industry is headed. And today, we're going to look at one of those hires, one that tells us a whole lot about the future of high-stakes AI.
So, our story really kicks off with this idea that's becoming, well, absolutely critical in the world today. And that's the concept of high-trust AI.
I mean, just stop and think about that for a second. We're not talking about an AI that just recommends your next movie on Netflix. We're talking about AI that operates in places where the stakes are incredibly high. Right? When an AI system gets its hands on national security data, or it knows the inner workings of our financial systems, well, that whole question of can we trust it? That's not just some academic debate. It's everything.
And that is what we call high-trust AI. Look, it's not just about the AI being accurate or getting the right answer. It's about it being secure, totally reliable, and resilient. It's built for those situations where a mistake or a data breach or any kind of failure could have, catastrophic results. We're really in a whole different league of artificial intelligence here.
Okay, so now let's bring in the company that's right at the heart of this whole thing, a company called Whitespace.
Whitespace is a company that totally lives and breathes in this high-trust world. They're the ones building the exact systems we were just talking about, AI that absolutely has to be trusted with some of the most sensitive info on the entire planet.
And just take a look at where they're playing. We've got defense, government, financial services. I mean, these aren't just any old industries, right? These are the pillars of our society. Success here isn't just a goal. It all comes down to earning and keeping that absolute, unbreakable trust.
But, with that kind of success comes a whole new challenge. And this challenge really signals a major shift in the AI industry. See, as Whitespace has proven that its tech works, it's now slammed right into the next big hurdle. It's one of those good problems to have that tons of companies dream of, but honestly, very few are actually ready for.
Basically, the world is waking up and realizing, wow, we need this kind of tech, and so demand is just exploding. And this is the new bottleneck for these advanced AI companies. It's not just about building a brilliant algorithm anymore. Nope. Now it's about delivering it reliably, securely, and at scale. That kind of operational excellence, that's a completely different ballgame, a whole different skill set, and it puts on some serious pressure.
And all of that brings us to the big, central question here. How does a company grow that fast? How do you meet all this new demand without accidentally destroying the very thing that made you successful to begin with? I mean, scaling is tough, but scaling trust, that's a whole other level of difficult. One little slip up and all that confidence you worked so hard to build, poof, it can just evaporate.
So to solve a problem this big, you can't just throw anyone at it. You need a very, very specific kind of expertise. So how is Whitespace taking this challenge on?
Well, here's their answer. The company went out and brought in Dan Braden-Astbury to be its new Chief Operating Officer. Now, this isn't just about filling an empty chair. This is a super calculated strategic move. It's designed to do one thing: navigate that exact growth challenge we just laid out.
And when you look at his background, it becomes crystal clear why he was the perfect person for the job. He's got over 15 years of experience at a company that is also a giant in trusted tech and security solutions. And what's really crucial here is that his whole career has been about scaling operations and driving transformation in exactly these kinds of high-stakes environments. It's like his resume was written for this role.
And right here, this is where it all just clicks into place. Just look at how perfectly the company's needs line up with his experience. Whitespace needs to scale across defense, government, finance. Well, Dan has spent his career delivering trusted solutions in those exact places. Whitespace needs to evolve its operations because demand is through the roof, and Dan has over 15 years of experience doing exactly that. It's a perfect match, right? The problem and the solution all in one.
Okay, so what does this actually look like on the ground, in practice? What's the game plan for this new era of growth they're heading into?
Well, his whole mission can be summed up in this one key phrase from the announcement: scale with purpose. This isn't just about getting bigger because you can. No, it's about building a really solid operational backbone, one that lets the company grow in a sustainable way without ever compromising on quality or security.
And here's the playbook. He's going to be focused on 3 core areas. First up, programs. That's all about making sure every single project is delivered flawlessly. Second, partnerships. This means working even more closely with other players in the industry. And third,
Platform operations. This is the real nuts and bolts stuff, making sure the core AI technology itself can handle all that extra load, securely and reliably.
You know, this quote from Whitespace really just nails the whole strategy. This hire, it's not a quick fix. It's about laying the groundwork, building that solid foundation for long-term success. The goal isn't just to get bigger, it's to increase their positive impact for the clients who are really depending on them.
And that kind of brings us to our final thought here. This whole story, which is all about a company on the absolute cutting edge of AI, it really came down to a human decision, didn't it? It's a great reminder that even as artificial intelligence gets more and more powerful, the really complex challenges, things like scaling trust, they still need the steady hand of experienced human leadership. So what does that tell us about the future we're all building?